Welcome back, everybody,
Hi, everybody.
to the... Ooh.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for one of us, and it's not me. Just kidding.
No, it's okay.
Not gonna lie, it could also be a rough week for
I'm
me.
also just in my blanket because I'm comfy.
Comfy vibes. I also need to show my drink, because I always have a drink.
Like, I didn't just buy us cups.
Yeah, coming next pod.
It's fine.
Cups coming next pod. Anyway, guys, Alyssa.
Me to take it off? So today we're going to get very much into our society and,
Deep.
yeah.
You're gonna be brain fucked.
Brain fucked?
Yeah, that's a good, description.
Taking my shoes off.
Okay, I have shin splints. From yesterday, I can't even drive. When I try to drive on the pedal, it hurts so bad.
So what does that mean?
I don't know, I just want to let you know.
Okay. My feet smell.
Ew, everybody, Alyssa's feet smell.
Well, I actually wore my fuzzy Crocs without socks by accident.
Crocs with socks.
Yeah, I always wear my socks with my Crocs.
Alright, so
Today we're going to get into our surroundings, something we can't escape.
yeah, we can't, we're here,
Literally.
we're stuck here. And I think, to get us started, we could talk about the fact that if we lived in a world with no influences, like imagine yourself growing up, it's like you live on this earth, but it's like you, and like there's no media. Maybe there's other people, because I feel like you need to see the interaction with other people, but like nobody tells you anything.
Yeah.
Like every opinion is your own. Nobody told you how the world works. Nobody told you what, that you grow old. Like, you don't even know you grow old. You don't even know that one day you're going to be wrinkly and old. You think, like, you have no clue. You create everything in yourself. Like, if you actually think about that, your perception of the world would be so different.
I just feel like we are so warped into this just social media and
Life.
Just how they have us so structured into these routines and things. And yeah, it's necessary. The role is necessary, but learning how to have, I feel like, a role outside of that is even more necessary.
Yeah, it's actually, we're so structured that if you think about it, there are parents of people that I'm sure I know, people in society where, like, if you don't even go to college, like, you're already on the wrong path. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's just an example of literally how structured people live their life. Like, you go to school, you go to college, you get married. Like, we've said this before, but it's just like the fact that something like that decision is something that has now made up in some people's mind, this is how life goes, is kind of like crazy, because it's just such a fluid life that, like, who has made up this structure and told us, like, this is, what happens. It's ridiculous.
That's why it's always like, I feel like you constantly hear people saying, oh, like, I definitely wish I lived back then or in the past.
Alyssa was born in the wrong decade, guys. I'm not even freaking kidding.
Yeah, definitely not meant to be here at this time, but it's totally fine. Maybe next time I'll
be in the right decade.
I don't know. But that's where we're kind of getting at. I kind of don't know how to bring this, like, topic across, especially if you're not watching the video and you're listening to our podcast right now in your car or something. Just think about the fact that, put aside, I understand everybody has their own beliefs, religions, whatever it might be, but let's just put that aside for a second and kind of, it's almost being honest with yourself that for 100% we do know that we die. And we do know that it all comes to an end at some point. And we don't 100% sure know what is actually going to happen when that does happen. You don't know. And it's not
you're not saying that's what, it's not a belief. Like, I am Christian, you know what I mean? You are whatever, but it's like, this is just taking that, like, person that had no influences, like the situation we were talking, and you had to, like, create all the beliefs yourself. Like, you wouldn't know because there's no hard facts. Mm-hmm. There's no hard facts.
That's really what I'm getting at, is that I feel like for some reason everybody in the world gets very, very deep. You have the people that are very spiritual and, like, they show it. Like, even me right now, right? Like, I'm wearing, like, this moon shirt, right? Like, people that, like, have a deeper, that aren't, I'm not even, like, let's put a religion aside for a second, right? And you have the people that are very more spiritual and, like, they look at, or they, like, buy crystals and that, whatever. But at the end of the day, even the crystals and all those things are just items. And, they are cool. They hold energy. They release. They absorb, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that even though we know that we're going to die, one, you can't, like, completely let yourself just, like, fall into like the trap of like, oh my god, well then if we don't know where we're going, then like then what is even the point of being here? You know what I mean? That's
like
not really what I'm
spiral.
getting at. It's more just the point of knowing that you really have no idea what's going to happen, and that should make all your stresses and your worries almost much easier, at least in this lifetime, because there's really no point to waste the time that we at least have.
Yeah, like it's like
being conscious and like
we were talking yesterday about like work, for example, or something, and like you're just so unhappy with like maybe what you're doing every single day, but you have to do it because you have to make money, you know what I mean? Or maybe you're unhappy with the people in your life and you're just like, do I even have real people in my life, whatever it could be? And it's almost like that goes to show like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like we don't know what the fuck is going to happen for sure. We can have a belief, we can have faith.
Yeah.
Faith is different than knowing this is like factual evidence, you know what I mean? And they can coexist. And the thing is like all you can do though, like what we came to yesterday, is like literally the only thing you can do is make sure that whatever you're doing and whoever you're surrounding yourself with, whatever, that you're at least enjoying it, because you don't get to take it with you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You could be a billionaire. You can't take that when you die. Like, you know?
I think, like, you have to, like, and I mean this in the most serious way, like, you have to really learn how to play your role in society. You know, it's fine if you have Facebooks, Instagrams, you know, you take pictures and like you post them and you let people this, that, and the other see all your life and make assumptions about who you are and what your life is like, and they have no idea. And you know that, but like we still let social media and these things like control us. Now it's okay to like play your role in society and have an Instagram and a Facebook and this and that and the other, but then there comes a point where it almost becomes like you're wasting time trying to prove things to other people, right? Instead of having enough like of your own life. Like you have to separate time for yourself outside of like society, the social media, the work, the money, the things like that. You almost have to look at like when you step out of your house, like you're just going to work, even if you're going to the grocery store type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just play your role, enjoy life, like go do things, but like when you're with other people. I'm saying like when you're with, does that make sense? Like when you're by yourself, you need to just take it all in for like what it really is.
And it's like, it's kind like it doesn't matter. We've talked about this too. Like it doesn't matter how deep like we're very like we see the higher perspective, right? We can get into deep conversations, but the second we leave this door and we like go to whatever, like you just fall back into society. Like it just happens.
And we're saying that like we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't have any. I don't have any belief besides the fact that I know 100% that I don't know what is gonna happen. And I can stand on that, and because I don't know what is going to happen and nobody can actually 100% tell me, I'm going to enjoy my own personal time and life. And
yeah, but it's like you fall back into society, but you need to, or I'm not saying you need, but I think for us it honestly is like, I mean for me it's like cured anxiety in a sense, having that other perspective.
You literally just said that to me.
Like it literally makes me like
because some people it can make them fall into like a deep hole of like, oh my god, well we're just gonna die, then what is the point of even doing anything like at all? But you can't do that. Like still do the things, you know, you still have the time here. I'm just saying that
it's not that you're wasting your time here because you're here anyway. It's just one of those things of like, okay, you're here anyway. Enjoy it. But like that's actually hard to do. That sounds like duh, but we're not enjoying life. Even done. People that think they're enjoying life, I'm so sorry, but like it's just like people think they're enjoying life and they're not. You know, people think they're enjoying life and they're miserable. They think they're enjoying life because they have a lot of money and cars and a big house and an Instagram following, right? And they're like posting it and everybody's like, you're like it's, you know what I'm talking about? It's those people that you look at and you're like, they've got it all, like their life is amazing. Like, and then they're miserable like inside.
And if that's like what you want to do, that's what makes you happy, that's fine. But like some people like that can't be cracked. You know what I'm saying? Some people like that are just like that. Some people don't even want to let go of that like mindset and even get into this deeper thing because they don't even want to think about it because to them it could be detrimental.
But even if that's what you want to do and it's what makes you happy, look, we're just all opinions here. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but I can say my opinion. It's like, I don't think those things can ever make someone truly happy. They might think so.
I agree.
But I think happiness really has to come from like a deeper place. True, genuine happiness, because life is fluid and life is ever changing. Like you're not going to have that car forever. You're not going to have that money forever. You're not going to have this status forever. Like all you forever is what the deeper shit within you. And so I think,
It's
it really
like the
comes from that.
happiness is like a little fake too, because I feel like happiness isn't really like, it's just an emotion, but like to have complete content,
Man,
yeah, like just being content with like,
whatever happens.
no, seriously, because then when things go wrong, you have to understand that like obviously everything happens for a reason, or it might not, you don't know, but anytime something bad happens, you can just pull yourself out of it and just be like, well, at the end of the day, tomorrow the sun's still gonna rise, I know that, you like stick with the things you know, but like everybody just gets, it's almost like people that are always angry all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a short fuse. I feel like if I get like really pissed off, and I do let things like piss me off, but ever since I have started the podcast with Joss, I do, and me speaking it out loud, and these are things I've always thought, but I've never really sat down and like spoke them out loud in front of other people.
Yeah.
But actually speaking them out weekly with you and just really applying it to my life, I am absolutely different. Like even from like January of this year,
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person.
Me too.
And I do think that it can help a lot of people. And it's not like I'm saying like, if you believe in, God and religion and whatever you believe in, that's 100% fine. Because as long as you're content and you're doing what you want to do in life, then great. But like, just don't get sucked into the society and the bullshit, because it's fake, and like
and the things
everything that you see is what they want us to see. So they're never going to show us stuff that they don't want us to see.
Yeah.
So, have fun, get on TikTok, get on social media, whatever, but like enjoy your life for yourself. Don't enjoy your life for like other people.
Yeah.
And
like all of those things that all of the like social media is like all of the things. Have you ever noticed all the things that like typical life is supposed to bring joys to aren't always, they don't actually make you happy. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they bring the emotion, maybe they make you happy, but they don't make you lifelong like stable content. Like all of the typical things that we're told.
You just brought me to such a good idea.
Go.
Can we all that's listening right now think about the fact that every social media platform has to do with taking a picture almost? If it's interacting with somebody else.
Or a video.
But why?
Except for maybe Twitter.
Twitter has pictures.
Yeah, but it's not like you need a picture.
I know, but I just think it's weird that, even on your Twitter, you have your page, right? That can show your vibe. It can show, like, the things you're into kind of thing. And I feel like it's a way that it's almost tricking us into really caring about things that don't belong to us.
Mm-hmm.
And compare, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have Instagram and I woke up just only looking at myself every day, you probably would feel a little bit better about yourself. But
when you have to look at everyone else,
right? Because nobody, like you said before, nobody's gonna post when things are going bad, right? And I'm sure people do, especially when people get sick or things like that happen, whatever. But like, and social media, like I said, could be an amazing platform, but I feel like we've ruined it in a way where it becomes good in a sense, but in other senses, it's not so great.
Well, I'm also gonna say like, it could be a great platform, but unfortunately, if it's open to everybody, it never will be, because I'm not saying everybody's evil or there's like a mass group of evil people, but I'm just saying there is like in everything in the world, literally, like this is something I know for a fucking fact. Like if you think of anything, there's always balance in it. Like that is something about this world I've discovered. Like there's not one thing where it's just this. You always, you have this opinion and then the opposing opinion. You have this type of person, the world always needs the world can't just be a bunch of great people. You know what I mean? It can't be a bunch of views. There has to be the bad and the good, and that's just the thing. And we're always trying to think of ways to have no bad. It's never going to happen. You need the bad.
There's no reason why it actually happens either, which is
I don't know, but
weird.
it does. And it's like literally proven at this point, because for all the time, it's always been that way. You know what I mean? But so the thing is, social media is always going to be evil, because unfortunately, you're always going to have people on there that don't give a fuck to be nice. You have those people on there that want to just comment with things.
Social media is an actual like energy exchange, and the people that are behind the screen looking at you and looking at your things, like, you know what I mean? Like I've actually thought, like I love my Instagram for like my business, right? Like that's a great way because it like runs my business. But like ever since I've started running my business Instagram, I've realized I don't post as much on my personal. It's like I really actually don't want that many people seeing
your true life.
Me, because in general speaking, it's actually kind of hard to portray my true life on
it's never your true fucking
Instagram
life.
Because I'm literally actually every time I post something, I have to be cautious of like what I say or what I post, you know, because everybody has like their opinions, and like that's fine, but like I think we are very sensitive these days.
But we're also like
And
we all want authenticity from people on social media, right?
yeah,
Like
very much.
we're like her photo's edited, you know, like they don't really look like that, or like that's not who she really. We all want authenticity, but if you think about it, the whole idea of social media is putting up a front. You can't be authentic. Like the whole idea is that you're compiling a page that is you. But a human is so complex, you can't describe yourself in a page. You can't put 3 words that describe you and that's you. You know what I mean? You can't, you're not even like just a good person. Like you have bad days too. Like you were saying, like you have a short fuse, but that doesn't mean like you, but then you're also could be somebody who's the most giving person.
But I think that's like what I'm getting at is the thing of life is you find the things about yourself that you don't really like and learning how to change that and redirect that to something better. Like, you know, I know that I have a short fuse, but, you know, next time that something makes me a little angry, I'm not going to get that upset about it because at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really here that long, and I just fell into society and let something make me mad that really wasn't worth getting mad over. That was a waste of my energy. And, like, energy can only be transformed. Do you know what I mean? It can't be destroyed. It can only be created and transformed, and, you know, that's really it. It gets better or worse, you know what I mean?
So that goes to show also when you bring it back to social media though, like even if someone didn't comment on your picture or you didn't read something, like if someone views your post, you're giving so many people the ability to like you feel a thought, you know what I mean? Like if someone thinks something bad about you, you almost can like feel it. And so when you're putting yourself on social media, you're literally allowing so many different energies from all around the world or whoever sees it to affect you, even if you're not even looking at it.
I feel like even with like Instagram and Facebook and like, I don't know if Twitter has stories. I don't have a Twitter, but the story thing is kind of odd to me because like they found a way for us to
post
more constantly throughout the day. You're like, you know, somebody posts a quote and then you read the quote that they posted and then you're like, oh, so that's where they stand, you know, on that, you know, that's their opinion on whatever. And like, I just think it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad to have social media. It's good for like, you know, communicating, interacting, and like, you know, upload pictures of your life, but like, you can't let that be your life. You know what I'm saying? You can't like half of my life is definitely not on Instagram.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but if it wasn't for my mom, I don't even think half the photos on my Facebook would even exist.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think social
my
media
mom just loves pictures, but
social media can just be, it should just be social media. Like, oh yeah, that's social media. It should not be a part or a reflection of you in any sort of way.
It becomes a very dangerous, I feel like, platform in a lot of ways.
People make it their life. People make their life social media, and it's not real life.
Like, to a point where, like, even when you're, like, sitting on a toilet, you cannot sit on a toilet without getting on your phone.
Yeah, it's
When
weird.
I was 5 years old, I literally remember sitting on the toilet, and, like, I just would read things that were, like, in front of me. You know what I mean? And it was just fun, and you never realize the things that I don't know.
Or, it's like, things like, you know, when you're, like, walking, maybe you've walked the same route, like, walking around your neighborhood. Like, you maybe walk your dog every single fucking day. But, like, we literally, every single thing we do, we don't even pick our face up to look. Like, with these phones nowadays, not even just social media, we're always just looking at the phone in some way. Even if we put it down, we're picking it up again within 30 seconds. It's actually, like, if you pay attention to someone, it's actually sickening because they'll put their phone down, and if you watch them, I bet you can't even count 60 seconds before they pick it back up again. And then it's, like, the one time you, like, are forced to walk without a phone for whatever reason, or, like, you lose your phone, or, like, whatever. It's like, oh, wait, was that, like, house always there?
Or, like, how many times have you sat down your phone and forgot it somewhere, and then, like, how long does it really take you to realize that you don't have your phone? Like, it's actually kind of sad. Like, I would leave my phone in here, get in my car, and I'm like, oh, forgot my phone.
Like, where is it? Like, you get that panic.
You need your phone. You need your phone, like, for everything. And,
it's
like,
just a crazy way to live,
and it's fine, but there comes a point where you can't let your phone be your life. Like, I should be able to, like, throw this behind me, literally, and just be like, you know, that's my phone. But, like, at the end of the day, I can always get a new phone.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree here, too, that social media and just life in general and technology, it's just going to keep advancing and growing and growing and growing. And I actually did an essay on this in high school, and I'm actually going to pull this out because it kind of goes deep. But I really think that it's scary that it's never going to stop. It's only going to keep growing and advancing. And we're at a really good point, I feel like, in life where, like, society and technology and things are really good, and, like, it is a little getting more advanced, but there comes a point where I feel like you can't let it take over.
But it's
Like you have
really close
smart
to it.
toasters. I can pick how I want my bread toasted.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know?
It's
And
weird.
I mean, you can go into the whole how everything is so weird and this, that, and the other, but you gotta remember to just
Be here.
pick yourself up and remove yourself and put yourself on the outside and still enjoy that fucking little flower that's growing.
Or like riding your
out
bike.
of the grass. Yeah, like,
riding your bike, sitting somewhere, like taking a fucking shower. I don't fucking know.
and I think like, you know, sleeping in, like that's like a really, you know, I hate getting up in the morning. It's like one of my worst habits, but like something I've been better at doing is like if I get up and I don't look at my phone first, it's easier for me to get out of bed.
Yeah. Yep.
If you literally will just get up first and go in that bathroom and brush your teeth and wash your face first and leave your phone in your bed, like you just get so much more enjoyment out of life because one, I didn't already flush my brain with Instagram and whatever's going on in the world. And
or have you ever noticed, like Sunday I had like a race at like 9 a.m. or something. So, but I had to like wake up at 7. I didn't like have time to check my phone. So like I had my phone. I didn't really look at it. Let's say I didn't get on social media. And then, like, I'm at the race, I'm, like, already have human interaction early in the morning talking to people. I do the race, I already have my endorphins pumping, blood pumping, like, whatever. And then, like, the race is done, and, like, finally, maybe, like, let's say 11, I check my phone. And it's just funny how, like, much more energy I had, how much more happier I was. Like, and not even, like, intentionally doing it, but, like, I got a workout in. I had, like, human interaction.
yeah, but I feel like also it's because people on social media post literally everything great in their life, which is it's good. But that's where you start comparing yourself to people. Like, oh, I didn't do enough today because that person just accomplished that. And what did I do today? I just did this, that, and the other. But if you never would have saw that person's accomplishment, you would have thought you did a pretty good job today for getting out of bed, going to a race, interacting with people. Like, you know what I mean?
I would say I'm a little different, though. Like, I know that's a real thing that a lot of people deal with, but I almost feel like my brain was just made different. Like, I feel like I have this wall up that, like, I can indulge in social media, but I've never, like, I've never ever, like, I know it's a real thing, but I've never been like, I don't do enough because they do. Like, I've never been like, my whatever, it doesn't look good because theirs looks like this. Like, and I know that's a real thing, but I literally feel like I don't even want to sound a certain way saying it. Like, I feel like my brain was born different because I've been in all the influences to have those thoughts, but I don't.
Everybody that is listening to our podcast can agree that our brains are definitely wired a little differently.
Yeah, something about me was wired different.
Like, I really think, honestly, if you can't delete every picture off your Instagram right now,
and be fine,
then that's like a problem.
Yeah. But also I think maybe like it all comes to your influences. Like, I think moving from Belgium to America and then always going back and forth, and like the realization that those two lifestyles were so different allowed me to start creating my own opinions as I grew up because I didn't only know one thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if these two places are so different, like there's so many places around the fucking world.
This is why me and Joss are weird because just like Jocelyn was saying, she goes to Belgium, goes here. Now, my interpretation, which I think if I didn't have this in my life, my grandmother on my dad's side was a Jehovah's Witness, and my grandmother and my grandfather on my mom's side were Christians, and my grandfather was actually like a preacher. So every other weekend, I'm not saying my parents never had me on the weekends, but I did spend a lot of time with my grandparents because, you know, they love me. I'm the only child. But I would go to Jehovah's Witnesses, go to Kingdom Halls, and obviously I would go to regular church when I would go to a Christian, and it really, really confused me how I would be in Sunday school learning about two completely different things, and actually at the Kingdom Hall there's no Sunday school. But what I can say is when I would go to the Kingdom Hall, you'd realize how much more calm and peaceful and just like whatever people are, but then you go to Christians and like not everybody says hi to you. You know, the kids are actually little assholes. You know, whatever. And I'm not shitting on any religion, but all I'm saying is there's so many different things and places in life and like, I don't know, perspectives. And for some reason, we all just like to keep one little perspective, and you don't like to like, you know, wean out of that for whatever reason. And you got to like wean your way out of your own perspective so you can see it all.
And that's where my passion for travel, if anyone has ever wondered, everyone knows I have it. That's where it comes in.
Not just me. Well, we're all going to Nashville. Yeah. I'm excited to get on a plane.
Yeah, so maybe we'll. I
don't get enough on planes.
No, I think I'm gonna change Alyssa though, because I think I already have been working on that. But that's truly like, yes, there's a vacation, there's like seeing things. Oh yeah, I'm relaxing. Travel is fucking different. Travel is immersing into cultures. It's actually like a job. Like, it's not just like kicking it back and having fun. But that's where my passion comes in, because you just get to like be one, humble, but two, you push your perspective and you start understanding and being open to so many different people's
Let's say, what
perspectives
about
of
the
life.
people that can't travel, right? The people that really can't.
Well,
physically.
but like your perspective was open just by your two grandparents,
right?
Like you had the same.
Well, that's what I was saying. Was like, even if you don't have the opportunity to like travel or
watch my videos,
you don't
then
have like money or whatever it might be. Like, there's so many ways to open your mind up and just like enjoy the place that you are at the current moment, and like,
or especially with, I know we've been talking about how shitty social media is, but you can use it in some good ways, and that would be a good way. Like if you can't travel,
like
but you're
starting a podcast,
yeah, no, or listening to our podcast, yes, or like if you don't have the means to travel, like watch it, but you want to know, like there's so many different informative like videos on different places around the world that you can watch. Like you can actually get certain things and understand certain people's experiences, which some of that's beneficial in social media, but you have to know how to use it the right way. Like you shouldn't just be using it to be like, how's your life and how's mine? Like that's just a little weird, but my opinion. But
the happiness that you create in your life truly just comes from finding peace within yourself.
Yeah. That's the point, is that when we say from within, there's a reason that we say that.
Like legitimately.
It's literally.
It's not even like.
It's like you have to tie this together.
Yeah.
You have to have. The reason that social media makes you shallow is because you are put into what everybody else has told you. You're put into what the world has told you, this is the way the world works. You've never formed your own opinion unless you've branched out to form your own opinion. And I think what you really have to do is you have to be present in society to an extent, but you also have to have your little bubble of life and your perception of life, that you don't need anybody else in it. You don't need anything else in it. Like, you just need you and your perception, and you'd be happy. You need to make sure that within that personal bubble, you can sit on a patch of grass
and like
and
the
be good.
things that me and Josh are talking about, it's not like we go around just like throwing this on everybody and telling everybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've gotten like some deep conversations with people, but not everybody has the capacity to grasp at maybe what we're saying. But if you can just like really try to understand, I feel like your life would be a little bit more happy, no matter what you believe in or what you think is going to happen. We're talking about like the right now, because for some reason we're always in the future or the past, and then
we waste the now.
Right, but the now used to be the future. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like
we're always anxious about the future. We're trying to know the future, and we're always like, oh, I wish I could go back to the past, or you regret the past.
That like keeps.
But we're never ever like, it's like when you learn to just like be here now and love being here now, in the good, the bad. Then you can't say you lived a bad life. Then you lived a good life. Then you're going to be like your dad, who's like, look, when it's my time, it's my fucking time. I had my time here. I had a great time here.
Like, I'm sure he watches our podcast and just like,
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like already knows what our next topic's going to be.
Yeah, and like that's just where you have to be. You have to be at the point where you just had your ride here and you were happy with it.
You only have, I really truly believe, you only have one good awakening in your life that really like opens you up, and the rest I feel like is just like on you. Like, you're always gonna learn and grow, and you can do so many more things in life, but staying for some reason here is, I feel like, very important.
So you're saying that
like,
you think we all get one chance at an awakening, and it's like you either awaken or don't.
Yeah, you either awaken or you don't, and like once you are awake, there's no going back. Like, that's the point of when you actually have the awakening. You're not going to question if you're still awake or not. You know, because you're staying.
You don't go back.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no going back. So what is your punchline for this week? What's your to-dos for everybody who's listening? And I think it'd be also cool, like, when we do say, like, okay, for the next week, let's do this, we'll catch up at the following of the next episode on, like, if we've done what we've actually said and how it's been. And you guys, if you want to comment on the videos or anywhere on Instagram, DM us. We can share on our stories and engage a little bit more. So what is, like, the takeaway this week?
It, like, sucks that we have to communicate with people through an Instagram, but I was going to literally just say that people maybe should try to take a break from, like, maybe, like, stop maybe checking your phone first thing in the morning. Like, try, like, small things and take yourself just, like, out of society a little bit better than you are now. You know what I mean? Like, try maybe going out to eat or go out with your friends without having to, like
leave your phone at home.
Yeah, like, having to, like, post it on social media and just, like, really see how you feel. Because me and Joss, like, when I kid you not, when me and her go out to dinner, we do not get on our phones.
No.
Except for yesterday when I was like,
maybe
wait, this tostada, or take a picture of a boomerang.
Like, and then it's like a picture and done. Even like my Instagram, like people, I actually was like talking to this guy one time, and he was like,
Oh.
yeah, and, whoa. Anyways, I was talking to him, and he was actually kind of spiritual, and at that time, I think it was a little bit before my awakening, so, like, he definitely, like, knew more than me. But I remember, like we would go, let's say we did, like, a day trip somewhere, and I like pictures. Like, I genuinely love pictures and videos, like, you know that. But I would, like, take pictures throughout the fucking day, you know, pictures that maybe I did want to post on just my story, not like my actual post. And like normally stories, you take the picture and post it right then and there. I never post it right then and there. If you think you're watching my story live, you are so wrong.
Jocelyn is like
3
2
days.
months behind.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, she's in Costa Rica? I didn't know. No, that was 2 months ago. Because I like to be, and he actually said to me, and I never really knew why I did that, but I just always, like, I like to take a picture to have the picture maybe, but I didn't like to invest in having to exchange energy. I just wanted to have the picture in the moment and then enjoy the moment. And he said to me, like, one time, caught me off guard, and he was like, I actually have always noticed that about you. He was like, you take these pictures, and, like, sometimes, yeah, you post them on your story later that day or something, but you never actually, like, stop what you're doing in the moment and take it. And he was like, that's actually really good because then you get to enjoy the moment. We don't realize that we pause our moments to post something. And I was like, wow, like, I probably didn't even think about it then until, like, now maybe I'm thinking about it, but it's actually true. Like, that's something I do. Like, I do like posting, but it's, like, funny because I don't literally post for anybody else. Like, I like aesthetics, so I like my profile to have, like, an aesthetic, like, it's my scrapbook of life, but I could care less who fucking sees it.
And then there's, like, Alyssa, who just
doesn't post.
Has 20,000 pictures and videos in her phone that never gets put together, and I'm just...
Maybe when you die, they can do, like, a life movie.
No, I'm going to give Jocelyn the password to my phone, and I'm going to let her take care of my aesthetic funeral.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that, like, I just think that's actually a weird boundary I've always had that's been so good because for me, social media has just been a place. And it wasn't even something I feel like
you realized you were doing. This is how you know when you're spiritually awakening because you know you've always kind of been on the journey without even knowing you were on the journey. You know what I'm saying?
But, like, that's, like, you know, I like to just have, like, an aesthetic picture. I like to, like, decorate an aesthetic story. I don't fucking know, but it's always been for me, so I don't lose value when someone doesn't like it.
And it's not like you're doing it to, like, show everybody how great your life is. You're genuinely doing it because you like to have. Yeah, I don't. That's how your OCD is. You like to have this, like.
Yeah, and I post a story and I feel happy, not because I'm like, haha, everybody gets to see me. I'm just like,
Costa Rica and you're not.
Like, my view is genuinely like, I'm like, that's just such an aesthetically great picture. Like, I just like putting it, and then I like to look back at it. But it's all about your perception and your intention on it. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to remove yourself from society and be like Alyssa and be like, I'm not posting anything. But you just have to make sure it's coming from the right places and you're managing it. And we all get sucked in. If you think you're getting sucked in.
I'm not posting because I just don't want to. It's just because I have so many clients and people, and from how many people have sat in my bed and go, oh my God, I saw you were doing blah, blah, blah. And I'm like sitting there thinking like, huh?
How?
And then that's where I just just people watch things and make opinions. And I just keep my pictures for myself. That's all. I'm actually going to make a scrapbook. So
yeah. Anyways, guys, we are so over it.
We're so over this conversation. So we're just going to fuck off and
indulge in yourself this week, motherfucker.
You'll never hear her cuss on this podcast, I bet. Maybe once.
The motherfucker.
Maybe a bitch.